Hey fellow Trek Chatters, I'm Pit Trekkie, and welcome to another episode of Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. Before I get involved in this episode's discussion, I want to apologize. I'm fighting some pretty bad allergies, and I've lost a lot of my voice. You can hear it cutting in and out. So I'm going to be drinking a lot through the show. I'm trying to get my throat together. Also, if you see me doing some weird blinking, it's because I was diagnosed yesterday with pink eye in both of my eyes. And my eyes are pretty itchy today, even with the medication. So please bear with me as I'm somewhat falling apart here. But you're probably asking, Pit Trekkie, if you're not feeling good, then why are you doing this show? Well, I want to talk about a topic that's very, very important to me. I'm very, very passionate about, and I'm very, very angry about at this point. I am talking about what the hell is happening in Star Trek fandom at this point. What's happening? We are at a severe division right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are at a point where it's basically a civil war. Our fandom is constantly bullying each other, instigating each other, causing hurt feelings, making people disappear on social media from other Star Trek fans, all for a TV show. A TV show is what it comes down to. Real people being affected by a fake TV show because of comments. I don't understand it, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of having rational, logical discussions, it's turned into where there's no debate anymore. You either agree with the way I feel, or you're blocked, or I'm going to call you a horrible name. It's at a point now where some fans are actually leaving social media because they're getting bullied so bad, or they're being ignored by their own fandom. I mean, it's absurd, absolutely absurd. There's no more logical discussion anymore. It's like the philosophy basically is now, and it's like that with the kids that I work with. I've been doing this for 15 years. You better respect me, but I don't have to respect you. That's the philosophy nowadays. I see it with the kids I work with the juveniles, and I'm seeing it within our own fandom. And I'm telling you right now, it's not just our fandom that's having the problem. Star Wars is having the toxic fandom right now. Doctor Who is having the toxic fandom right now. Just a whole bunch of other people, I'm sure, as well. But those are the three biggies that I'm aware of. Star Trek fans are supposed to be better than this. I thought that Gene Roddenberry talked about enlightened human individuals, and that's what all of us from the 20th and 21st century have strived to be. Why we've been Star Trek fans is because of that acceptance and moving past petty jealousies and negativity. But instead, what you do is you go on to Facebook or Twitter or any other part of social media. Trek movies really big for this one. You say something negative about something that somebody doesn't agree with, and they will slaughter you to the point where I've seen some pretty nasty stuff being said by other people. And you know where I'm seeing the division being caused right now? It's a division, a line between the pro-Discovery fans and the anti-Discovery fans. That's the biggest issue right now. Now, I'm no dummy. I know that the fans ridiculing each other's opinions has gone on since Star Trek has begun. You know, with the old fanzines and the old official fan club / communicator magazines in the 80s and 90s, and into 90s, into the currently now with the internet and social media. That is always something that's gone on in fandom. It's something that's always going to continue. But it needs to be addressed, ladies and gentlemen. What pisses me off the most is where you get these fans who don't agree with somebody else about what they think about Discovery or something else, and then they ridicule them, beat them down, call them names, and then put at the end of it, #edict. You people don't know what edict is all about if that's the kind of behavior that you're going through. And shame on you for putting edict down when you bully other people. Shame on you. Now, here are some of the wonderful, tolerant phrases and comments that I've seen from the pro and anti-Discovery people. Again, it's both sides. I consider myself a 50-50 Discovery fan. I love the cast. I love the sets. I love the special effects. I think all that stuff is amazing. What I don't like about the show is that they keep saying that it's supposed to be in the 23rd century when it clearly doesn't look like it belongs where it's supposed to be. And I'm not getting into a debate on that right now. That's my opinion. That's the way I feel. Call me butthurt however you want. That's how I feel. I've got 5 other Star Trek TV series that tell me how the 23rd century in that prime timeline is supposed to look. Don't tell me otherwise. Don't tell me otherwise. So not only does that bother me, but most of the episodes are full of plot holes. I think they're entertaining science fiction episodes, but for Star Trek, for the most part, they're lacking. Now, I think Season 2 was a remarkable improvement over Season 1. I think it was a disgrace to call Season 1 a season of Star Trek. I'm not going to get into that, though. That's not what we're here for. All right? Those are my biggest gripes about Discovery at this point. Now, here are what some of the tolerant pro-Discovery people have said. There was a guy about a month before Discovery premiered who had complaints or concerns about Discovery. This is what he said, quote, or he said this to that person, quote, "You're the reason the morning after pill was invented." Are you kidding me? Can you believe that? Another one said, quote, "I swear these days I just want to beat up the haters." Haters. Haters. Keep that word in your mind. Then we go to the fun-loving anti-Discovery people who claim to be better but are not any different. Here are a couple doozies that I think you might like. One person says, quote, "Those who like this junk don't have the attention span to watch a baseball game, let alone 50 years of the franchise." Another person goes, quote, "Poor Drekkies, so desperate to have Star Trek on the air, they'll eat any of Moonvez's shit." Keep an eye on that word, Drekkies. We're going to come back to it. You know, it's very interesting to me, a lot of these fans that are doing these things, I guarantee you, have worked with kids or they have kids that have been bullied. I guarantee you many of them have gone to the school because of different types of bullying, because the schools are supposed to have a zero tolerance policy. They fight that their kids shouldn't be getting bullied. Then they come onto social media and then they bully their own fandom. You want to talk about hypocritical? I think it's awful. Absolutely awful. What I have noticed, because I do follow pro and anti-Discovery sites and pages, blogs, whatever, okay? I have found that the biggest insults to these groups of people are two words: haters and Drekkies. Now, when I first started noticing this, hater obviously stung me a lot more at first. Not because of my stance on Discovery, but as a Christian, I've watched Christian movies in the past where anti-Christians have used the word hater to describe people who are intolerant and to shut them up, basically. So that kind of irritated me from the get-go. So when I started seeing Drekkies popping up not too long ago, at first I said, you know what, there's really not much connotation to that. It's not a nice word. But then I sat and I realized it's just another form of hater. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. Well, first of all, let me get a drink here. All right. So we're going to start with hater. I would like to give you two definitions of the word hater. First definition, the formal definition of hater is a person who has an intense dislike for another person or thing, often used in combination. An example of this would be, I'm a big hater of opera. An informal version of the word hater is a person who thrives on showing hate toward, criticizing, or belittling other people or things, usually unfairly. An example would be, the guy is just a hater looking for a fight. I see a lot of this from the pro-Discovery side, which makes sense. Hater is an easy word to use. If you don't like something, then you must really hate it. Okay. But what I don't like about this word, okay, and I already talked about that with the Christian part, but I've seen it in politics, and I've just seen it in random people who are debating, okay? If you don't feel a certain way, and somebody can just call you a hater, and a lot of times it's used as a blanket statement, okay? I've seen a lot of people get called haters from the pro side, okay? I'm going to get to the anti side next, but this is their word, okay? So the pro-Discovery people, what they usually use hater for is to say that you're a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, transphobic, or whatever the hell kind of phobe they want to call you that day. Okay? It's just a way to get you to shut up about how you feel because you're not tolerant of what they're feeling. End of story. And it is a nasty, disgusting, bullying word that Star Trek fans have adopted to talk about each other. Here are some of the, so let's go through those connotations. Racist. This is what I've seen from the pro-Discovery people. Just because if you don't like Discovery, you don't want a strong black female in a lead role. Automatically, that's just what they say. No evidence, no nothing They just say that you just don't want a strong black female. Where's your proof of that? Before you make that kind of comment, don't you think you should have some proof? But again, they use that blanket statement to just shut it up. Then we got misogynist. Afraid of a strong, these people will say you're afraid of a strong female lead or a woman in power. For example, this has been kind of used to talk about if the characters are being called Mary Sues, like Michael Burnham, which wouldn't, to be honest with you, I don't like Michael Burnham's character very much. I love Sonequa Martin Green, but I do see a lot of Mary Sue traits in Michael Burnham. She seems to be able to do anything and everything. For season 1, she was in a lot of trouble, but in season 2, she seems to be able to kind of give it to the captain and everybody else. All right, another term, homophobic. They will automatically claim that even with no proof that you are intolerant of Star Trek's first openly gay couple. Note, and I'm going to be fair here, I have been on anti-discovery sites and I have seen with my own eyes, people actually make homophobic and racist comments. Absolutely I have. So it is there. There is a grain of truth into that. But not everybody. Most people that I've seen on there just don't like the show. It has nothing to do with them being gay or whatever. Okay? But that is something that's been brought up as well. Another one, bigot. And I see this one as all-encompassing. One negative discovery comment, that person is everything that I just said and more. They might make some sort of phobic word up. And I can't stand that bullshit. Okay? Just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't mean they're intolerant. That means that they're human and they have their own opinions. Now that I've raked over the coals the pro-Discovery fans, we're going to go on to the anti-Discovery fans, because they're just as bad. Drekkies, like I said, I felt used to have a connotation where it didn't mean anything, but you just didn't like Star Trek Discovery. I was wrong, because as I've done more of my research over the last few months prepping for this episode, I found what other meanings for Drekkies is. Usually when they use Drekkies to describe the pro-Discovery fans, it's their way of saying that they're stupid, they can't understand what kind of high-concept show Star Trek is, they only like the action, and they're unintelligent. That's basically what Drekkies has become. So it's become the new hater. It's just being used by the opposite end of the fandom. It's just as filthy and dirty as a word as haters is. And of course there are other names people are being called. I can't go through all of them, but I know swear words get used, very inappropriate comments about people's appearances, things of that nature, stuff that middle schoolers would do. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. So what this bullying leads to on both sides, I want to tell you guys again, I've been a therapist for 15 years. I work with kids who get bullied on social media. You don't know the mental status of the people that you're actually insulting online. What if somebody is so distraught by whatever comment you made? What if they're fighting with something and they end up going home and killing themselves? You may not know that right away, okay? Or you may not even know it at all. But would you ever want to have the thought that possibly your comment could have led to the death of a human being? And don't sit there and say, well, they didn't have to go kill themselves, that was their decision. No. Okay, you're right in the fact that they were responsible for their behaviors. But you lit the match to get that shit going. Do you want to be responsible for that and possibly ever in the future have somebody's blood on your hands? I know I wouldn't. All over a TV show? Get the fuck out of here. Withdraw from fandom. I've been having fans on Twitter that have actually been private messaging me, telling me that they feel bullied and distanced by their own fandom. A new form of bullying that's going on is, if you don't agree with somebody, what they have to say about something, block. 99% of the time people are blocking people, and then they brag about it. Now, if it's some person that's being racist or being hateful and whatever else you want to say, I don't blame you. I blocked a lady or a gentleman on Facebook. Is the only person I ever blocked or unfriended because he made a comment about Sarah Huckabee Sanders being a slut. Whether you like her or not, I'm not going into my political affiliation, so you don't know what I truly feel about her. I blocked this guy because there was no reason to call any woman that. That's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's mother. You don't do that. And so I kicked his ass to the curb. Doesn't matter. I would do the same thing for anybody else, no matter what political party. You don't do that. Also, what we're seeing is people starting to feel like that there's a formation of cliques going on social media. There are fans. This one, I can see where people might feel that way, especially if they don't have a lot of people that are responding to their stuff. What I seem to think with this one is the more content that you put onto social media, the more people are going to respond. I was having the same problem where I virtually had nobody commenting on any of my tweets, and it really upset me at one point. So what I did was, to solve it, is I started adding more pictures and more content, and that's helped me make more friends. Okay, but nobody should feel like they're being ostracized. And then when fans feel that they're being ostracized, you get fans that are being tolerant and caring and saying to them, basically, you need to go get mental health treatment. There's something psychologically wrong with you. No, they're feeling left out is what the problem is, because they were seeking out fandom. Star Trek can be a lonely place if you don't have other fans with you. I said that in my very first episode. Why I reached out and started doing this show was to reach out to other people. I want to do also an addendum to what we're talking about right now. There was a situation on Twitter in the last 7 days where a Star Trek fan made an it was definitely an inappropriate comment about wishing that Leonard Nimoy was alive still and Shatner was dead. Now, when I first saw that comment, I shuddered. I'm not going to deny it. I didn't think it was a very nice comment. But when I started seeing the vitriol coming back to this person, I made sure that I read it. There's no way, in my opinion, that was any type of death threat. She was trying to make a point about something else. It was worded totally inappropriately, okay? And she got a lot of hell for it. A lot of hell for it, okay? Now, what I'm hoping is, and it looks like it's happening now, that's starting to die down a little bit. I'm hoping that she will be able to come back, and that I hope that all of us can learn from this experience that you have to watch what you say. You can't always talk from emotion and expect that you're going to make the best choices in what you say. Alright? This kind of stuff happens. She said that she was getting death threats and inappropriate comments. That's unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. As much as we all seem to, most of us, a lot of us love William Shatner, I know many don't. Okay? But nobody, even if they made that kind of comment toward an actor or non-actor, anybody deserves death threats. Okay? I didn't see any of that stuff. I've had people say that she might be making that up. I don't know. I'm not here to really go over that whole story. But again, it shows where Star Trek fans are at this point today, and what power they think they have on Twitter, and what they think they can and can't say. Some of this stuff needs to stop, folks. So here's what I really want to say. Before I move on to the last piece, I want to show you a small compilation of some of the things that I have collected from the pro side and anti-side of Discovery. I'm bringing back my segment called Trekkies Gone Wild. Take a look at this bullshit. Welcome back, fellow Trek chatters. Can you believe some of the stuff that those people are saying? I'm going to be putting more of these up as time goes on to expose more and more of these comments and this bullying that's been going on in our fandom. Trust me, there will be more as the episodes continue. So basically what I want to talk to you about it to wrap this all up is, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, in all the years of stuff that Discovery's been going on, and I've had my issues with the show, I can honestly look in this camera right now, and I can tell you that not once have I ever made any negative comments towards pro-Discovery fans or anti-Discovery fans. Not once. I've made comments to people like, I don't understand why everybody loves this show so much, but I never used any derogatory words, called them names, none of that stuff. And I can look at you right now and tell you that I've never have, okay? My feeling on it is this. If any of you have used the words haters, Drekkies, used some sort of derogatory swear words, comments, things of that nature, whether it was in the past or in the present, then it is you who have been causing this problem and have contributed to the problem and have kept it going. So why don't you be part of the solution? As of today, I am starting a brand new hashtag on Twitter. Hashtag Drekkies Don't Bully. This is not meant to be some sort of little group or little clique that gets formed. All I want it to be is a little statement at this point. I encourage people to put it on their Twitter, on their Facebook, whatever accounts, social media accounts, whatever accounts that you have anywhere else. Put it on there. Just shows it's a basic statement that's saying, I promise I'm not going to bully when I deal with these other fans. It's not going to happen. Hashtag Drekkies Don't Bully. All right? So basically what I would like to know from you is, what are your comments about the whole bullying situation that's going on in our fandom? Please, please, please put comment below, okay? And also click the little bell so that way when there are more episodes, there's more content going on, you guys can come back and you can see the library of what's going on. I can tell you there will be more episodes about this in the future as time goes on, as I continue to see the issues that are going on. I am going to ask all of you, because this is an important topic, if you feel it's just as important as I am, share the shit out of this episode. Share it to your friends on Facebook. Share it to your friends on Twitter. Ask them to share it. Keep passing it along. We want to get more and more of the word out about this bullying and how it needs to stop and how we can all be better people because of this. So share the episode. Get it out there. Like I said, you can follow the show on YouTube, obviously. Just if you want to go to my channel, just type in the search Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. It'll take you right to my channel. You can also follow the show on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. You can also go on to Twitter at PGH Trek Chat. I look forward to hearing from any of you who are interested in this. Share the episode. Let's get our message out about this bullying and how it needs to stop. And until the next episode, may you live long and prosper.